All right. With that down, guys, let's get things started here, shall we? Paris, what do we got up first?
All right, let's do it. So the Despicable Me franchise is one of the most successful animated franchises in history, making over $4.6 billion at the box office. Billion in just 5 movies, averaging nearly $1 billion per film. That's wild. So expectations were high going into the newest Despicable Me 4. Well, the reviews are now coming in and they seem flat. According to Rotten Tomatoes, the movie is currently only holding a 55% critic rating, which makes it the lowest of the franchise.
Yikes.
Yes. So, John, what do you think of the first reviews of Despicable Me 4?
Not as good as I was hoping. I mean, I really like the Despicable Me films. The one exception was Despicable Me 3. That's the only one. Like all the other Minion movies and the Despicable Me films, I really like. As a matter of fact, like Ray and Ann and I are going to, as soon as we're done the show today, we're going to run out and go see Despicable Me 4. I'm looking forward to it. And historically, this has been a franchise of really good success. Like, take a look at this. Kind of alluding to what she's saying. Like, you go back to the first Despicable Me, the very first one hadn't been a franchise yet, still made $543 million at the box office, ended with an 80% critic rating. The second one, I mean, just blew up, nearly doubled what the first one did, $970 million for Despicable Me 2. Also, got a very respectable 75% critic rating. Then you got the first Minions movie. I'll tell you what, I like the first Minions movie. I do. And it got even bigger. $1.16 billion, but it dropped down to a 56% critic rating. Despicable Me 3 then came out, the only one I didn't like in the franchise, still made over $1 billion, got a 58%. And then the last film, Minions Rise of Gru, which by the way is Anne's favorite of the franchise, again got $940 million and 70%. So as you can see, this is a franchise that, like Paris mentioned, has been almost averaging $1 billion per film. But as she said, right now, this thing's sitting at 55%, which is the lowest one so far. Let's go over and take a look and see what some of the critics are saying so far. The Detroit News writes, overall, they seem to like it. Despicable Me 4 has the classic slapstick humor from the Minions for younger kids and some jokes for the older folks in the crowd about retirement funds, country clubs, and plant-based milk alternatives. ABC News, Peter Travers also liked it. He said, sure, it repeats everything it did in the last 3 times, but thanks to Steve Carell's lovable grump of a Gru and those wild and crazy minions, the random lunacy remains hard to resist. The Daily Beast didn't like it, said, kids will undoubtedly chuckle at their familiar exploits. The rest will view the film as an excuse to take a nice air-conditioned nap.
Ouch.
I believe they just specifically were referring to Rayor.
Yeah. That's me, baby.
Boston Globe wrote, I suppose you should not be trusted on all things Minion related. Then again, you don't need my opinion here. If you hate the Minions, you'll stay home. If you hate the Minions, you have kids, you'll have to see their movie anyway multiple times. The film verdict wrote, plays like an assemblage of note cards that have been stapled together in a rough approximation of a screenplay.
Yikes.
CNN wrote, a tired, disjointed medley of madcap visual gags. The animated film yields roughly as many legitimate laughs as can be counted on a Minion's 3-digit hand. So, I mean, again, it is over 50%, so that means slightly more than half the critics like it, but roughly about half of them don't. And it also seems like the ones that do like it aren't exactly singing its praises. They're saying, yeah, it's like all the other ones, but if you like the other ones, you'll get a laugh out of it. And you know what? I'm kind of okay with that. Like, look, they showed us about, 15 minutes of it at CinemaCon?
Yeah.
And it was funny. They may have showed us the best 15 minutes, though, so it was looking good. So, whatever. I don't care. I'm still going. You're going to see it with me, Ray? Are you looking forward to this?
I haven't seen any of the Minions or Despicable Me, so...
You haven't seen
None
any
of
of them?
No. What do you think, man?
I feel like we come across this conversation a lot
Yeah.
with Ray.
What?
And he
Come
goes
on.
to see the sequels and he's like never
What?
seen anything before. And then he'll watch it and be like, oh, that makes so much more sense now.
Wow.
You gotta wine and dine
You don't want to
me.
binge
You gotta
watch
wine
them?
and dine
You gotta
me.
wine and dine me, baby.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not just gonna watch anything.
Are you a Despicable Me or a Minions girl, Paris?
I am. I'm a Minions girl,
Mhm.
but I mean, you could never make me hate Despicable Me. I'm sure that this might not be the best one, but I don't think I can ever hate it.
Well, Keep your eyes open later. We'll let you know what we think of it when we see it right after the show is done today. We want to thank a sponsor of today's episode, BetterHelp. You know, guys, it's one of the most unfortunate human tendencies that we have to try to compare our life to others. And social media plays a big part of that. Comparison is like the thief of joy, and it's easy to envy other people's lives because on the surface, it might look like they have it all together on their Instagram or YouTube, but in reality, they probably don't. Therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life. Give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Campea. Questions for you guys. What do you think about this? Right now, as we speak, the Despicable Me 4 is holding the lowest critic rating yet out of any of the Despicable Me and Minions films. Does that bother you? I mean, listen, if it's still got some chuckles and laughs, I'll be happy. I think a lot of people are going to go see it. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.